Please welcome to the stage Ingram Micro's Executive Vice President and President, North America, Kirk Robinson. Ladies and
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Ingram Micro One event. Can we get one more round of applause for that awesome beginning? Maybe I'm supposed to sit, but I'm gonna move around. So hopefully you're enjoying your first day, and I hope that your business meetings and your breakout sessions have been quite valuable. And as you can tell, we're doing something a little bit different this year, starting general session in the afternoon as opposed to the morning when we normally start it. We're doing this out of respect for our customers, our vendors and associates who observe Yom Kippur, which ended at sunset yesterday, and gave everybody the opportunity to join us here at our One event. As many of you know, Yom Kippur is known as the holiest day of the Jewish year. So to any of you who observe this day, my wish is that you had a peaceful and meaningful day with you and your loved ones. Now we've got a packed couple of days for you, and I am honored to be kicking off the first of 2 days of general session. And anybody who's heard me speak during my Ingram tenure might have heard me talk about how critical it is to put the customer in the middle of everything you do. And it occurred to me that when you talk about this for so long, it becomes just as much of a philosophy than just a business imperative. Simply put, a customer-focused philosophy means putting the needs and preferences of your customer at the center of all your business decisions. It means understanding and anticipating customer expectations and building the right products, services, and experiences to not just meet, but to exceed those expectations. And by now, you've all heard that Ingram Micro has launched a customer, vendor, and associate experience platform called Xvantage. And this was spearheaded by one of the brightest minds in our industry, our own Chief Digital Officer, Sanjeev Sahu. And we've been talking a lot about this year, and you're going to hear us talk even more about it. But what I want you to know, the reason we invested and launched this platform, the main reason was to help you take friction out of your business. And I can tell you so far, Xvantage is a game changer. I've been at Ingram Micro over 30 years. And in all that time, I've never experienced anything to this magnitude. Xvantage is enabling your people and our people to do in seconds, in minutes, what once took hours and days to accomplish. And if you don't do anything else over the course of the next couple of days, I urge you to find the sessions and the people that can help you better understand what Xvantage can do for your business. But as game-changing as it is, Xvantage alone cannot bring life to this customer philosophy just on its own. It takes people. It takes you, and it takes us. And we're working with a handful of partners, small, medium, large partners, to look at what we can do to deliver data insights to you, meaningful data that can help you grow your business. And we're working with several vendor partners to do the same. Because it's that feedback that we get from you that helps us build out the right programs and services. So speaking of people, Ingram Micro has hired some great talent in the last year. In a show of hands, how many of you know Paul Hager? Great. Because we hired Paul on as our VP of Services for the US. And before Paul came to work for Ingram, he was a customer of Ingram. So with Paul, it's helping out that not only has he walked in your shoes, he's helping us better understand the needs of our partners from a service standpoint. And not only did he hit the ground running to help us build out our services strategy and our team, but he's got the experience of building and selling a couple of successful MSPs. And that helps us out a lot, because sometimes we're in a room as Ingram executives and we're looking at solving world hunger and what our customers needs, and then Paul will stop us and say, no, here is where we need to be going. So it's fantastic to have him on board. But as great as Paul is, we have other means to go out and learn about customer insights. And that's you. That's our partners that we turn to and our vendors to continue this journey looking at everything we can do to deliver value. Virtually everything we develop is instigated by the feedback from our partners and our vendors. So we're going to continue to work with these focus groups and tackle things like data insights so that we can deliver that value and help you grow your business more profitably. Also, through acquisitions like CloudLogic. We acquired CloudLogic because we knew our partners needed help with data migration and cloud migration. And another stellar hire is Mukund Gopalan, our Chief Data Officer, who's come on board to build out a global data lake for Ingram Micro, which is no easy task. He's also built the strategy and the team to help us deliver these data insights that you will not find anywhere else in the industry. So with our people, with Xvantage, with the immense power of our data and business resources, it's our mission to deliver to you an efficient and personalized experience, to remove friction from your business and help you create more value for your end customers. So right now, I'm going to transition and bring somebody out for Q&A, somebody that knows Ingram quite well and knows the industry quite well. So please welcome my friend, our CEO, Paul Bay.
Out up in the country, somewhere where the road ends, out there where the creek bends, that's where you can find me.
Welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Kirk. Good to see everybody. I kind of like this afternoon session. A little different than waking up at 5 a.m. to get ready, so hopefully everybody had a good first half of the day. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thanks for joining us. I know you're here for the next few days, so really appreciate it. Paul, as you know, the next couple of days are really about looking into the future of what's possible and new levels of growth and value for our customers. So what would you say excites you most about the next 12 months?
Well, I think you saw, and I didn't know what the opening was going to be. The higher you get up, the less you find out what's going on at these types of events. So the good news is it's all aligning together. I would use the word opportunity. So think about who was here last year at one, raise your hand. A fair amount of you, and welcome to those that weren't here. If this is your first time here, hopefully you're gonna find great value in this. And first of all, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules, all of you, to join us. So we are on stage and we are just launching Xvantage. We had hundreds of customers on a global basis. We have over 160,000 customers on a global basis. We had hundreds of customers when we announced it last year. Now we have well over 100,000 that are on Xvantage on a global basis. Every one of you in this room have access to Xvantage today. In just 12 months period and what we've done. And some of the things we've done is, again, you mentioned it, is taking that friction and complexity out of the business that you operate each and every day. But I would say we're delivering innovation, and we've had these conversations throughout the years of what is distribution doing relative to driving innovation. And you're gonna hear Sanjeev come up here shortly and talk about AI and what that can mean to your business. We are using it in our business, and it's just getting started. So huge opportunity for us, but ultimately get to the data and then provide you insights throughout the channel that we have and what we're doing. And you know, you've heard me talk about how the roles are blurring between what everybody's doing. And I'm super proud because I talk to more and more of you with regard to the innovation you're bringing to the table too. Growth has got to be a very important mindset, in my opinion, in this, and it's about making changes. So people say, Paul, how have you in the company moved a $50 billion company globally to be able to get to Xvantage? And it's about making change, but it's just not about big changes. It's about making small changes incrementally and every day getting better. And you'll hear that theme, which is uncomfortable for a company that's been around for almost 45 years when we're used to not making radical changes. Now it's incremental change that we're working with all of you and the feedback you give us. You know, there's a quote that I often use, and it's been one of my favorite quotes. It says, without change, there's no breakthrough, and without breakthroughs, there's no future. And so we got to keep making that incremental change so we can go through and find that breakthrough and continue to drive our future. And you know, so that's great. We sit around and everybody tells me how great it is, and talking to customers and trying to get feedback. And a couple of customers have given us feedback kind of real time and saying how simple Xvantage is for them to use. They actually brought up, Kirk sent me an email with regard to a Cisco quote and going from quote to order and kind of that whole process. It was seconds, as you mentioned, and said it's as easy as a 5-year-old could use it. And so when we talked about last year, I said we want to take this journey and help consumerize distribution. That's not because it's super easy. There's a lot of complexity in order for that 5-year-old to be able to use it, but the intent is that it was super easy to use. Other people have said it's changing the way they're doing business and helping their whole company and at scale, and that's important for us too. And I got some real-time feedback this weekend. Kirk and I always laugh because normally if I reach out to him on a weekend, it's not a good thing. And actually, I didn't reach out to him on Saturday because it was a good thing. And I actually got a text from a vendor executive that I spoke to on Friday. And we were going through and just catching up. It's kind of like what I like to do on a Friday afternoon to touch base. And we were going through some of the business. And I asked about Xvantage and kind of where we are. And we had a quick chat. Well, he sends me a message and said, hey, Paul, I forgot to tell you. One of our customers, and I haven't got authorization because I just got the text message to use their name, came back and this individual from a vendor perspective said, how would you rate Xvantage on a scale of 1 to 10? And this partner of ours said, I'd rate it a 15. We love it. And so that's validation. That's not us asking. That's actually getting non-impartial validation of what we're doing. So I'm super excited about the opportunity we have in front of us.
All right, the question that is probably in the minds of many, hyperscalers, friend or foe?
So I get this question, and normally it's in a hallway or side, hey, tell me what you really think. And I would say the answer, it depends. The answer is yes. But what I go back to in almost my 30 years worth of being in this industry, time in this industry, and you look at how we've had transformational changes. So go back to even not so long ago, cloud. The whole thing, there were people standing on stages like this saying, go fire all your salespeople and hire only business people because everybody is being disintermediated because the cloud providers are going to take everybody direct. Okay, there was a sense of that. The watermark came down, but really at the end of the day, it was about how do we make sure that you're adding value. And so I would say the hyperscalers as partners, and they're very big partners of ours, and they continue to grow, and the opportunity is they have a very efficient marketplace and how to transact subscription-based technologies. But that's not your value. Your value is much more than that transaction. You create the seamless solutions and services, and again, wrapping your IP around that, and that's what your customers expect from you. Let me give you a couple of examples, and I've shared these stats, and they're public stats that we share, which is solutions are still made up. 6 products and services are made up, on average, on a global basis, a transaction that all of you do with Ingram Micro. Many times there's many more than that, but on average, it's 6 solutions and services. Many times from different vendors, requires different skill sets and certifications along the way. And so being able to have a hybrid or a cloud and being part of that total solution, and if you look at having the hyperscalers be part of that, a super critical piece of that, that's all part of it. So it comes down to me, it's in terms of providing that value, and if it's just a transaction, and as we say, how do we take that transaction and turn it into an interaction, there's much more value wrapped around it. So they're an important part of the ecosystem, and we think there's great opportunities, and there's some areas that we're gonna continue to invest in that we think we can make it easier for all of us in this ecosystem to transact. So again, it's more than just a transactional tool. I get that question. Tell me about this Xvantage website and transaction tool. It's not. It's a place where we want to help you do business more efficiently and more effectively.
So you've had an opportunity to talk to many of the leaders in our industry, and I know you've had some great meetings lately. So what are you hearing from those other leaders around where they think the opportunities are in the market?
Yes, I've been fortunate because I've spoken to 3 of the top CEOs that we all do business with, and they're all great innovators and leaders. So asking them kind of what they're seeing, and really a lot of it's coming back to kind of this customer lifecycle journey, and what we're doing as an industry to move to ARR. And so you see everybody that's publicly trading talking about ARR. You're going to hear Victor Baez is going to be on stage, and there's some breakouts around ARR and the importance of that. So it's not just around the 3-letter acronym buzzword. It's about how do we have a more predictable business for all of us in the future, and making sure we're driving to free up that time and get that annual reoccurring revenue into the system so we can focus on how we're servicing ultimately the partner in the long run. And I'd also say they're recognizing these 3 CEOs that I'd spoken to in the last couple of weeks are recognizing what we're doing around Xvantage and with all of you. Providing for us, it's about how do we provide the best experience anytime and anywhere. Pretty simple. Best experience anytime, anywhere. You're going to have Sanjeev tomorrow talk about something that came back from all of you coming out of a one last year of a challenge to us to bring something that's very important to you that hasn't been done in this industry, and he's going to announce it tomorrow. So kind of leaving you a breadcrumb. So hopefully you'll be here tomorrow morning to see Sanjeev talk about that. And as we are on this journey to become a platform company, again, moving from transaction to interaction, and really for us, it's how you go from, is it scalable? Yes. And what are we doing? Is it standardization? No, it's not just around standardization. It's about how do we get the predictability for all of you, and how do we do that at scale? We call it, or I call it, personalization, not standardization. Because if we tried to standardize everything, you're all doing business a little bit differently. And if we try to standardize, that won't work. So we're trying to flex to make sure we can do personalization with you at scale. And what I would tell you, the most exciting thing for me, kind of to wrap up, and the opportunity comment that I made at the very beginning, is they see the value in this channel, all of you, more than ever. Most of my time with each of those 3 individuals was around the opportunity and how do they reach you at a different level and at scale. So that's pretty exciting, because it means to me that the vendors in these 3 conversations are recognizing that they are only a piece of that broader solution. And you are the connectivity and the conduit between the real conversation and the outcome at the end. So if they want to build their ARR, they have to have you in the middle, and we want to make that as seamless and as touchless as possible. We know this is still a relationship business. I say it all the time. We thank you for the opportunity to earn your business every day. If I left you with one thing, I would ask you to really understand Xvantage as a business leader and an owner. Don't just hand it off to operations or finance or your sales leaders in the organization. This is providing you an opportunity to have this single pane of glass that you can come into, one experience, as we're bringing things like a marketplace into our Xvantage so you can transact and effectively run your business from a technology perspective from end to end, and add your IP and services on top of that. So we value our partnerships each and every day, and we thank you for the opportunity.
All right, Paul, I appreciate you coming out and spending time with us. I know you're here for the next couple of days. I know you asked me, get me into as many customer meetings as possible. My ask of our customers, in front of Paul, please do not say, I didn't know you did that. I'm willing to hand out credit memos, whatever it takes. Just nod your head and say, I knew Ingram did that.
No, but what I do want in seriousness is I want for you to say, I wish Ingram did this.
Yes.
Because that's how we get to the announcement Sanjeev's making tomorrow, and that we're going to continue to iterate. Xvantage doesn't have an endpoint. We're going to continue to iterate, and that comes from feedback from all of you, not just us sitting around saying, hey, do we think this is a good idea? We validate it. So bring those ideas forwards as we're having a beer or your favorite beverage. So thanks, Kirk.
Perfect.
As
Thanks,
always.
Paul. Appreciate it. Well, with all this talk about customers, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about where we see some of the greatest engagement between our customers, and that's our communities. SMB community came about because we were having so much success with TrustX, formerly BTN, that we knew there was an opportunity to create a forum for our SMB customers to come together and learn from us, just like we saw with BTN. But I want to thank a few people. We have a special video for an anniversary of TrustX, 25 years in existence, and I believe it's still the premier partnership in this industry. But a few people I want to thank. I want to thank Darren Gottesman, who's currently running our communities. Darren's passion around the communities is second to none. And there's a few other people who along the way have really helped build the value in these communities. Holly Nidzielski, Bill Peterson, Penny Johnston, and Nancy Stabway. These four individuals they have been the driving force in the success of our communities. So thanks to each of you. And with that, Stav, you want to run the video?
So what has TrustX Alliance meant to me over the past 25 years? Well, first it's helped me grow and learn about business in general. It's helped me learn about IT, and it's helped me learn about what you all go through and the intricacies of being a business owner. I know once you've always said it's lonely at the top, and I was able to see so much of the community come together, so maybe it's not quite as lonely.
When people come together, the amount of energy they have for each other, to see each other advance and to teach, and to make certain that people don't make the same mistakes they have made, and to cheerlead them on, and to enjoy their wins, and to feel their losses together, and to learn from their mistakes. It's just been an amazing ride. I've had the privilege to be involved for 20 of the 25 years. I can't thank the community enough. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've learned more than I could ever dreamt. So thank you very much, TXA, and happy anniversary.
TrustX has brought us a feeling of family, from Ingram reps to other business owners. It shows us that we're not alone, and our issues are the same across the country and the globe.
So to me, the True Value Committee was simplified during uncertain times. This TXA community came together when we couldn't be together, and we rallied. The display of kindness and caring reinforced why we're all part of this amazing community.
All this year in TXA meant a lot for me. I met so many people within all these years that are now such good friends of mine. I know that even in difficult times, I just have a phone call to make, and people I trust will be there for me, business or even personal life related. The name says it all, TrustX Alliance. Happy anniversary, TXA folks. Hey la gang du Québec, bon congrès.
Hey, TrustX community, listen, we have something special. Something I have never seen or experienced in my lifetime. Traveling to Vancouver one time on a mastermind trip, I had Mr. Bill Peterson in the car, and I said, Bill, how do we bottle this? And that's sort of been my quest in TrustX, to find out, figure out how do we stick all of this goodness in a bottle.
When I joined TrustX, it was like putting my hand into a perfectly fit glove. It just felt right. So what has it meant to me? Well, as a business owner, it's meant never being alone. As a community, we're able to face the challenges of the industry together and build a much better IT channel together.
Over the years, TrustX has really become my board of directors. Not only are they trusted friends, but they also have the honesty of my children. It's been invaluable. I don't know how you put a price on having industry-centric IT leaders sat on my board as an extension of my business. It's simply priceless.
TXA at the core has always been a community, and being part of this community has been a very special thing for us. We were inspired by the strength of these partnerships and the benefits that come from a community that's learning from each other, pushing each other forward. So much so that we modeled our own customer community around these same principles. So now we have a client community in Western Canada that's the key strategic driver of our growth, and it's transformed our business.
TrustX Alliance is the ultimate international partner-led association in the IT industry. Professional, trusting, collaborative, and passionate. The members are business partners and friends at the same time. They celebrate together and help each other grow the business and increase the benefit for everyone involved.
TrustX has had a tremendous impact on me personally and our business. Basically, I would say that almost every new idea that we have brought to our business has come from TrustX. And if it hasn't, we've talked to TrustX about it, talked to the membership about what we're trying to do, and we've just had the most amazing feedback, quality of ideas and brain share that goes across the world. It's been phenomenal.
TrustX gave me the opportunity to extend my business network to a new international and high quality level. And of course, I met new friends.
Let's travel back a few years, a lot of years actually, whether it was picking something basic. Do I go with HP or IBM, or back in those days Compaq for the benefit of our customers? All the answers and the decision and the experiences were literally a phone call away in the TXA ecosystem. The complexities grew, the friendships grew, and the support system continued to be just a speed dial away.
The people who are part of this community, both present and in the past, are people who I consider my friends, my colleagues, and in some cases my family. This community has meant so much to me over the many years that I've been a part of it, and I am just absolutely grateful for everyone and all that we bring to each other. Thank you, TrustX.
I would just like to add my thanks to any of you who have been part of our communities along the way. Thank you for the partnership, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for our communities.